Okay, so let's get right into it. Microsoft is making a really fundamental change to how we license Windows Server. And look, if you're in IT, this is something you absolutely have to get your head around. We're talking about Windows Server 2025 and its new pay-as-you-go model. It's a huge shift, so let's break it all down.
So let's start with a problem that I'm pretty sure many of you have dealt with. Have you ever had to shell out for those expensive permanent server licenses for a project that you just knew was only going to last a few months? Or maybe for a workload that has these massive seasonal spikes, but pretty much sits idle the rest of the year. You end up paying for all this capacity you just don't need all the time. It's just not efficient.
And this really gets us to what we can call the old licensing headache. For decades, the model has been, pretty rigid. You buy a perpetual license, you own it forever, which sounds good, but it also means a huge upfront cost and almost zero flexibility when your business needs change on a dime.
This slide just lays out the core change perfectly. On the left, you've got that traditional model, that huge upfront capital expenditure, what we call CapEx. That's a big one-time hit to the budget, right? Then, on the right, you see the new model, a flexible operational expenditure, or OpEx, where you're just paying for what you need as you go. It's a complete flip in how you think about the finances.
And that brings us to the solution, the Windows Server 2025 Pay-as-you-go model, or PAG. This is Microsoft's direct answer to that old headache, and it's really designed for the modern hybrid world where agility is absolutely everything.
So the whole point is this: it's a consumption-based license. Instead of buying a license up front, you just connect your server to your Azure subscription, and you get billed hourly for what you actually use. That's it. Simple, right? You pay for what you need when you need it, and you stop when you're done.
Okay, so you might be wondering, how in the world does Microsoft track the usage of a server that's sitting in my own data center, or even in another cloud? Well, the technology behind it is actually pretty clever, and it's already well established. Let's see how this all connects.
The magic ingredient here is a service called Azure Arc. The best way to think of Azure Arc is as a secure control bridge. It basically extends the Azure management plane to any infrastructure anywhere. So it doesn't matter if your Windows Server 2025 is on-prem, in a branch office, or even running in a competing cloud. Azure Arc connects it back to your Azure account, and that's what enables services like this new billing model.
And this breaks the whole process down into 3 really simple steps. First, you connect your server using Azure Arc. Second, Arc starts tracking your active usage on a per-core basis. And finally, as you see in step 3, that data just flows right into your Azure account and you get billed hourly on your subscription. It's honestly that simple. No more complex license keys or activation servers to mess with.
And to get you started, Microsoft gives you a little taste. The moment you enable pay-as-you-go on a server, a 7-day free trial kicks in automatically. It's a fantastic way to just test the waters and see exactly how the billing works without any kind of initial commitment.
Okay, so we know how it works, but why should you and your business really care? Let's get into the tangible advantages this model brings to the table, because this is where it gets really, really compelling.
Let's look at this financial shift again, because it is so important. This chart just says it all. Instead of that massive, budget-crushing CapEx investment you see on the left, you get these predictable, manageable operational costs on the right. This makes IT spending so much more flexible, and trust me, it aligns way better with what the finance department wants to see.
But the benefits go way beyond just finance. You get this incredible flexibility to spin servers up or down without ever worrying about managing license keys. And you know what's really great? The billing rate is the same whether you're running the standard or data center edition. It just simplifies your choices. This whole thing is truly built for agility. So where does this model really shine? Well, think about those temporary projects that only last 6 months, or a retail company that needs, say, 10 extra servers just for the holiday rush. It's perfect for development and testing environments that are always changing, and of course, it's a totally natural fit for any hybrid cloud strategy. These are the sweet spots.
All right, it all sounds pretty good, right? But as with any new technology, there are some really important details and potential gotchas that you need to be aware of. This isn't a silver bullet for every single situation, so let's cover the crucial caveats.
First and foremost, this is completely non-negotiable. To use this model, your server must have a persistent connection back to Azure through Arc. If you have air-gapped or frequently disconnected servers, this model is just not going to work for you. And of course, you obviously need an active Azure subscription to handle the billing.
Now please pay close attention to this one. This is a critical operational detail.
If you shut down your VM or your physical server, but you don't properly deregister it or disable the pay-as-you-go service in the Azure portal, the meter might just keep running. So the key takeaway here is shutting down the server is not enough. You have to explicitly tell Azure you're done with it to stop the billing. It's a crucial step to avoid some really nasty unexpected charges.
So this all brings us to the big final question. With this major push towards a subscription-based operational model, are we seeing the beginning of the end for the traditional perpetual server license? Now, Microsoft says perpetual licenses will still be available, but this move clearly signals the direction the entire industry is heading. It's a trend toward flexibility, toward consumption, and deeper integration with the cloud, and it's forcing all of us to rethink how we build and, more importantly, how we pay for our IT infrastructure.